It's a boost, I will say, after the reading tellers, the generators Sodoma scale Argentina, bitácora de viaje de mi vida. And I will be the teller to guess them and to be a crime to guess and manipulate by guessing to the government of the Argentina, to the forces. Oh my god. So this, let's say histrionic or virginal turn of delirious, because of he doesn't know such thing and suddenly tells whatever it tells is schizophrenic because of where the expertise of course. So the virginal journey of the reality of the sick, rotten piece of an excrement Argentina of Cristina Kirchner, Néstor Kirchner, Aníbal Fernández, Alberto Fernández, Taggy, them B words, forgive me, virginal French, but not explicit. Right? I invent words and I make up languages around. And you need to extort and also for I to say in a class of briscolati, irbanato, disgusting sons of shit. So you will kill everybody if I don't show like, besides the recurrent you 10 B words for uses and all that nonsense. Or better analysis. Right. Okay. Forgive me please. I just woke up. And I'm tired. I had a shower late night. Yesterday or last night actually. And this is really early here. This is already 9:01 this morning on this September 11th, 2014. I'm sorry for that. Okay. I'm sorry for what happened. I'm sorry because of it, but not only that I can take New York City. I'm sorry for 5,104,806 persons have lost their lives that day as well during September 11th. Those 5 million and extra persons were actually the black monks one and were always affected of Argentina. Permanently, not Argentina, Policía Federal de Argentina, CIDE, Prefectura de Argentina, those 5 and extra million persons which died at September 11th of terrorism were 4,298,104 Jews. And nobody ever said nothing on this. And nobody ever shown offending this. The Sodoma, Cloeja, Ejército Argentino used to say they were the Sionism to exterminate. And like them B words, Sodoma always were seeking for any class of a term or excuse or argument or whatever allegation for the making that the generation state always were a form of abomination, the way they dies. Shalom. So the reality of this, and I apologize, New York City, USA. I apologize also for the whole represent that was died, not only Americans, and apologize for the reality which victims were all even off of Twin Towers, all through the New York State, and all through US, Europe, Israel, and Latin America. The reality for these murders, this genocide, the beginning, What exactly an allegation but darkless, Barton darkless, which is not writing like the dark word, and neither like less word. It is D-A with letter upon C-L-U-I-E-C, and it's not Chile. That delivered a supposed research telling that they will ever take in the world and causing a chaos and robbing to people and making a lot of things, saying that's Zionism, and producing slavery and producing destructions and producing murders. And the reality were that the Jews, which were qualified and put it under the stamp of this class of a Sodoma, Cloeja, Ejército Argentino, Maidanat, were actually the reality of Atlech Mohammed. Everyone were ready for the trend to rescuing, which were announced. There were happening a weird thing, and everybody talking of the government of the world. They were ready to try to rescue people and putting orders and establishing some orders around institutions inside the United Nations to try to help and assist populations, because of they know that genocide were coming. Then, in the middle of the soul, and found myself with a very sometimes working, doing a lot of things, and suddenly one of the things were my life, and in my life, the thing was the one I am, and the thing was since my five Sodoma, Cloeja, Ejército Argentino, Sodoma, BLYTT. Esa es la palabra, abominability, pedazo de D-word. About they never stopped doing to me like that. I just slept here and were truly extenuated and were diminished over my strength. And may I have more than resistance. The reality were like I needed a rest and make sleep reposition. I needed to having biological moments to take over. The reality of this delivered into I just turned off my laptop. And you run a need of this, so in the middle of this all, like every night and every day, Sodoma de Generalos were making up all 10 the generations therefore. Then, in the middle of this all, happened that here thing. Ricardo Rongo kept on remaining the Sodoma, phallus, bleeding and murdering, like the rest officialism, Argentina and Cristina Kirchner, always. That's the reason why are erected in powers by the phallus of Sodomaki, Kishkopolua, Sodomaki Hanuta, Cloeja, Hibaraja, Abomineleja. That's the word. Abomineleja. Gracias, Sodomai, close the doors. The word is Esmogeja, which is farther any abomination ever known. The worst, never ever in conscience understood. In the middle of the reality of the soul is the simplicity of I were here, just slept around 1:20 a.m. Buenos Aires. This is now 9:29, and I still have some headache. I have some sleep, which is not normal. And there's further in it biology which I'm perfect. The reality of this soul. Then, through this night, while premeditated, some evangelic and threatening them to murder them if they wouldn't do. The evangelic accomplices succeed behind all, as we know who they are, manipulating and bribing. Oh, how can we arrange this? Should I make a very gentle bit of black spotlight and your trousers to become like the glorious above lady also if it's necessary? Right brain, crudo carnival cabrera con right? Or you, police chief, you love this. Can I arrange something? Right? Nobody ever said you do. You're natural. And you really are. Make your parties. What are the factors? And the reality of the soul. Oh, this formation. He's defamating us and he's making damages. We're suing. He gotta pay us for the damages, of course. You're all you have belongs to me. First, you're all you have belongs to me and you never cave nothing in and pretend to manipulate with murders for more. And telling to the, can I say the word in Spanish? No, let it say with class. BLYTT, Sodoma, Argentina, to keep the 50% of all, and you will arrange your horse of hell lives, right? So suddenly, all you had, houses, even clothes, but God, I will ever simply putting some like you and your body Sodoma puts upon my people while gets raped massively, acid upon to exterminate the whole of the crabs. You naturally, essences are, my God, just thinking about it. But everything comes to me. All you said you possess with a power, and I never gave you nothing. And you are gonna go for it. Thanks, God. And in the middle of the reality this, which you never let go a thing and kept on manipulating the murder with your Sodoma, pretending this to be a manipulation and a robbery, and making organized crime, manipulated the system, guessed it all and manipulated like a demon. You all are demons, degenerados abominables. And in the middle of the reality, this just happened what it happened. They were sleeping. And when sleeping, this sickle degenerates, Spring Crudo Carnival Cabrera, organizing the threatened ones, you better do because of. And then themselves naturally, the witches of Akula, Matu, Aku, Jarin, which they are. Making the work for anybody to find, anybody to know, anybody to get real, anybody to see nothing and never to read what our fellows and authorities put in, but I don't know what they still thirst to calling what Lord, what God. The pieces of hell, excrement, crabs of Sodoma. And destroy everything, nobody to read and nobody to see what the government does. And be subtle for nobody to see what our enemy is telling we to do. We gotta be wise on the Lord. The reality is simple. Witches, Sodoma, prostitution, brain crudo, carnival, cabrera, naconde, especially carnival brain. Making the BLYTT and supporting the whole generations just wanted to do well from the stages. We are just trying to help, for Christ's sakes. How you dare to say that? Don't you see it? He's a schizophrenic, just make some chaos, some around. And his pathology, he just comes to switch and turn everything so sinisterly. Oh my God, how dare you to call this to the pastors and I? And suddenly the reality of we're making the witchcraft of the century. For the 8,904,276 more persons to disappear. From Argentina, Chile, Uruguay, Bolivia, Paraguay, Peru, and Brazil. And in the middle of this, my supposed delirious, but the same prostitutos degenerados, cuerpo médico forense, pardon victims, en prostitutos degenerados, ATT, gobierno de la ciudad de Buenos Aires, Alvear Borda, Piñeiro, and whores, piercings, pretended of prosecutors, defensors, and judges. Ricardo Ronda, pedófilo, degenerado, in their bodies. Sordas. The reality of the blevech mochale vesvecha sechosh bola tzamachatiki vesmochale sem, and making the whole of the staging. So what the reality of this whole, we're just living, and people disappearing, people being massively raped still today, 21,000 families complete, mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers, sons, kids, marriages, long marriages, and in the middle of the way. But when I say the word, now let's be superior. Shpochla, Sodomecha, defines them. And the reality of Entlomas Fechlivet Stash Machat Harines Tavish Berklech Achatsa, Shmini, Tanaki, Kundi. See? We're slipping. And suddenly, let's do work. Evangelics are ready and they're going to help us. Federal Intelligence Argentina, President's Argentina, Defense Secretary of National Security, Defense Ministry, Argentina, Pierce. CIDE, Argentina, Policía Federal Argentina, United Evangelics Argentina. United Evangelics Argentina. Pretender of demonologists and guides of the spiritual, how to do into me into our soul and to the bodies of them for they to heaven and then they need from destroying me and making to my people. And also there's to saying that be the son of a B word which they are. And a damn hell B word one. Shut up. Should I say the name? Oh, you know, Pinky Pinky Whole House, Balcarce Street 50, Buenos Aires. Your mommy, B word of hell, like you. And the reality of this whole, then Chomatlavish Bechli, Hitzima Bashmacha, Alexeh, Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner making the staging and the whole allegation and the, oh, because of you're not offending my patriot. Sending people to arrange murders, disappearing in justice parties in states, governments, and everywhere, all over the world. But I got you. And I'm gonna catch the damn they word as. So, the word will be catch or catch. Let's make it some rhythm. At 1, 2, 3. Fire. Shabbat. Thank you. Close the doors. Liars. Catch. الفخ مطلب اسبخلك المستشفى بورد. And in the middle of the reality this, forgive me my virginal cynicism. Other class. Not like before which we were chauvinism, tasty. Interesting, right? Forgive me, please. Alright. The reality is I was sleeping. And started working like I was telling you, relating the facts. Still, National Security Secretary of Ministry of Defense Kirchners, like Communications Chamber and Forensics and Tribunales and Presidents and all them B words, the generaditos, telling they have right and they have right to doing and using and possessing and having whatever they want, especially each other's lives, especially Christians, and especially God's. And suddenly the reality of the soul, Evangelica Diabla, starts to keep on making the generations stay guys forever like. And first, stamped in forever like that himself. That's his life, forever after. And dead ever after. Whatever one of that. Just the reality of, can I? Vos ponete acá, vos ponete acá, vos ponete acá, vos ponete acá, vos ponete acá. All over spiritually, all over. And can I say the word? Klukwa, tzabrojo, cloejas, degeneraditos, all over. And saying, let us, we're going to do the job. And in the middle of the soul, the generaditos, making the profanative spiritual. From after comes the kloechutu, bakatu, shedim butu. We done it first, we knew it first, we done everything first. Oh, we are not him. Oh my God, he makes my control and he raps to us. Because of witches and the master of the hell, and evangelics came on us, of course. And suddenly, maricas, sorry this, but the serfs, matches, are the way they says to us, Adonais, and the people that worth defines them. And the people that they ill right? Defines Sodoma. And the reality of, feel that, do you feel it in your C word? Fellas. That is the C word, vagina, of the son of a B word, means me, which will power you for the centuries. That is the presence of Christina Kirchner and Christina Kirchner. Bravo! Bravo! And the generates extra, telling the whole of the is still Iris. Don't you see? Nothing on that happened. I'm going to tell you what happened. That is the raping people all around and says with my spirit in my life. They has powerful. That is what the service of Guillermo Horacio Pereira and Osvaldo Carnival were given to this generates consciously and with no threat. And that is what all the rest, bodies of them, fraternity, brotherhood of the generates were making permanently. With a burden of victims. And that is the reality that we're using and possessing my life while I free all around. And making up any class of a shit like I will ever get in jail, I will ever get internated under medications, delivering chunky stuff in my nose, in my mouth, a smoking pot, and any class of other generation saying that I will ever putting cocaine in my rectum and also in whatever I have like in BLYTT for the whole of the penises. Because of that's the word they says also, penises. Those them trousers to get inside and make me fly in a very clever BLYTT saba. At noon. And there's the saying that also and I will be like a super nymph making mitoses on my own for the division of my own in thousands of my own and going to millions of the sickle ship deaths from all around the world in 8,108 round kilometers now from Buenos Aires. And I will ever come and join myself in one again, and having the placement of the supposed sacrifice and strength to suffer devil being and serving. That's Guillermo Horacio Pereira Osvaldo Carníbal en Sodoma Degenerados, Ejército Argentino, Armada Argentina, Policía Federal, CIDE, and Cristina Kirchner, Presidents, saying it is. And it is because of the commands. And there's the same, of course. And in the middle of the reality there is also I will send to making Umbanda, Macumba, and Candomblé, and all class of witchcraft and their superheroes, because if we know about the Lord and we're going to break and destroy, and also don't you see, he produces this all and confuses us, and we don't know where he's got anymore lately, and we don't understand nothing. He's a demon. He's making this to us and stitching everything, and we don't know what we do. And he is damaging the Church of Lord, and we gotta fight it, and we gotta destroy everything he organized and he done in the whole of the world. Don't you see it? He is bluffing God and the Christ, and we have a problem. I'm gonna tell you one thing. Yeshua HaSaret Lao Tzu, except for the victims. And Yeshua HaSaret is not called Christ, except for the justification of the ones he wants to save. He is Mashiach, and the name Jesus is wrong, but also justified at the reality of the ones he wants to save, not the class of evil. And the reality of this all is, I'm sick of them. And the reality of this all, the sick that generates keeps on making the same thing, and keeps on producing the same generations, and the recruiting for more massive rape and murder, telling they are going to take murder. The reality that we go through is overwhelming. I have done a job which produced a very riot to the world, of course, of hell. Right, world's council, you all again. I executed you, the before ones, and after the others comes here. The BLYTT degeneradas. And Mr. President, forgive me for this, Your Honors, forgive me for this. The reality is simple. The sick freaks Sodoma Hoplo Tlak keeps on, where people's kidnapped from all of the world and from all of the world are just getting back, except for 8,106, like gracias a mí, perdóname los términos que son 100%. Gracias a mí. And in the middle of this all, because of needs medication and gotta be internated, where the whole night, don't you see, we saw it, and we pictured. Yes, picture your schizophrenia and picture your coins for lives in your pocket. Picture your heroic horror of powers of hell. Tale of the salvation of Lucifer, yet again. And picture your death because of no other you will have a privilege of scum. The reality is simple. And still it insists and persists and sustains. Same on. And for words on murdering and murdering and murdering and on and on and on the same over. And my tiredness gets at the destruction of even the breathing of this. and the real breed, to the whole that comes behind until wherever it takes, not even the ashes. Blefoch motlevish betlevish mechalchen mesevechi maslem. Because of praying one to it, same carnival and United Evangelics one. Because of he work doing and it's doing permanently what we say. They don't have to pay damages to it. He is always said, even Lady President and all, oh my God, officialism, they are sons. Yes, you are Ra, but not the Ra Amush. You are Rapuka. You don't know the term, mummies, gargolians, kirstners, degeneraditos, perritas enfermitas. You don't know. I'm gonna tell you what it is. You are like a payasko kimona. You just burned like mishkua, and you found out each other like a leaf. You are a hell in person, and that's the way I give you back what you done. For the name of Adonai. Fochle met chivish v'chalchen etzima p'nei chaliva ashmechenim. Gila v'trefe v'cholat melecha v'shmocholetam v'fasecheni. In ramat lechocholat mebeshkemelech yitivakad v'sivene chashak. And where my friends murdered men kept in bodies all the way 100%. And telling we do to it now. He doesn't know. And further the ones that over the reality of Christina Fernandez are making for killing intimacy, rape and murder and running at the mechanism of Argentinian institution law and registers, and we know this is real. The B word matches the hell word and a big one, and a lousy abominable one forever, and the B word breed of her, and B words, and pedophilics and zoophilics and massive rapes, murder, degenerate. And thief, and forger and liars, and organizers of degenerate B words like he and like them and like her. Murderers, genociders, degenerate, saying, because of the family and the patriot. There's the B words of hell. And on the circus of, because of we know, and the houses are for the ones that works. So get out of there. And I saw this last night, and this B word, Sodoma. ¿Qué te pasa ahí? Should I show them up? Yes, I'm gonna do it. You say that you make mistake, B word, F word. The way I put you there. I'm gonna do it. For the name of Adonai, for the reality of the justice, I'm gonna make it again. But only abomination and only God justice. I am not the word. Well, the reality of this all, yeah, why not? Breakfast. What were that of the B word considered of Queen of Heaven? Sodom Queen, Christina Gishna. I knew for the last night and for longer more the reality this came on doing, and I came on denouncing and announcing what this was doing. And with Sodoma, Policía Federal Argentina, Gendarmería Nacional, Prefectura Naval Argentina, and CIDE, premeditates with Presidents Argentina, officialism, Aníbal Fernández, and Ricardo Rongo, and the whole of tribunales of the B word, Cristina Kirchner, of hell, everyone, breed, with a breed Maximus. You dare to make yourself called like this. Maximus. Here's man. Rapist, degenerate, pedophilic, thief, murderer, genocider, criminal, psychopath. He insulted me in front of the whole of the world. And of course we gotta F word to everybody, so we're gonna be the government of the world, and we have right for, gotta respect us. B word of hell, Sodoma. And not the reality of this soul, making the organization with forgery and the generation premeditating who and what family to massively rape and murder. So suddenly you find out in the middle of the way with an invention that no one ever knew, like this family, what I burned yet, which nobody's announced, with the tale of Policía Federal Argentina estuvo en sus puertas y ellos se negaron a abrir y se negaron a responder when never happened. Y declinaron la posibilidad de presentarse delante de un juzgado. Nosotros sabemos que son culpables of the whole invention of the generates, and telling you are off of your house right now because of this property belongs to the government of the Argentina and you better get out. And the families with not knowing nowhere to go, nobody to help, nobody to be around because of also everybody murdered, and the destruction all around with whatever the lawyer, attorney, whatever the anyone, even government and even society. It says society, yeah. But the reality of enclave is not the society. Gracias. Close the door. Has another meaning. Malbut ou malkaveni. The big words, disforming the languages for the uses of the needs. So the reality of the society will ever have them like all big words held that generates this? No. So they resist us to let go and abandon the belonging and the rights. And they don't have no defense, no way, no supporting, no assistance. And they get in jail because of they resisted the law. But the jail delivers into whatever already taken, massive rape and murder, because of this state commands, and belongs to them. And B word Christina Kirchner gives to the ones, she says, for the ones to work. Because of the big word, with the big words, United Evangelic says, only the working ones. Because of Lord works and I work too. Like any devil, the hell works as well, and you are the example of it. Christina Kirchner, Ricardo Rongo, Policía Federal Argentina, and the whole big word, Ejército Argentino, Armada Argentina, and the rest big word, Sodoma Degenerados, and big word, United Evangelics. The hell works as well, and you are the live testimony of it. Then, Kavlot Mefecha Lamatri Vespecha Lechimetinas Kemalachim. נשבר לבפך לחמסקי אבל לבש בכל חנם. נשבר לבכי דיקומל ודיקמה בלבשקו אבחר חימיתי. נשקומה לפך מיקה לבך חימסקה ולקימה פחנים. נשבוע תרתי ולחת לשמות לבכני כיסקה ולפך אבל פתי כי נשקומה לך חמכיני. אבל לבשבך, forget me.